Welcome to another episode of Savagely Paranormal After Dark. This week, or tonight, we have our special guest, Teagan, which is another one of our lead investigators' kids. April.
Yeah,
It's April's
that's my spawnling.
I don't know. He could be mine.
You never know.
And tonight, he's going to tell us some savage stories.
Yep. So I'm gonna start out with so back 5 years ago ish
Okay.
when I first had the room.
No, it's been more than 5 years ago.
We'll go six, 7.
Probably 7, 8.
Close enough. All right. So
Some years back.
Yeah,
some
exactly.
years back. So I got the room. We just had it situated. I had my bed in the back left corner. And over here, I had like a play area. So I had all my toys set up. Specifically, I had a Lego drawer.
This room yet again.
This room, yeah. Most of the stories in this house come from this room. So I loved Legos, played with them more than I did anything else. And so the one day I was playing with them and I just scattered them all over my room. I went to sleep and thought nothing of it. I wake up, all of my Lego guys are just, my drawers open and they're all set up, standing up in rows inside of my my drawer. And the same thing would happen every night. And then the one day I called my mom in and she looked at it. The night before it happened, they were all over. We woke up and then they were all lined up in the thing again.
Somebody got tired of me yelling at you to pick up your toys.
Sounds like a supernatural entity stepped on one too many Legos,
Right? Those things hurt.
even in the afterlife.
So, I have a question.
Yeah.
Did it scare you?
At first it did, and then it didn't really scare me after that. I just... Well,
He's a tough guy. He tough guy, me no scare.
so at the beginning it didn't scare me because I thought, okay, maybe mom walked in when I woke up, put him in there.
Because I had an hour to kill while you were sleeping.
You never know. And so,
You know, at that age, he was your firstborn, so...
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought it was her, and then it kept happening, and then I called her in the one day, and she's like, yeah, no, it wasn't me. And ever since then, my mom, we had an idea. Sandy's my aunt? Grandma, something like that?
I don't know. What are you going to with
I'm
Sandy?
going with the board.
I didn't get that from Sandy.
We got that from somebody. I don't know. That's irrelevant.
I
So-
came up with the idea
Yeah.
to put a Scrabble board out with the letters
Yeah.
because that has been known that they can use those to leave a message. So
Yeah.
I told him to try.
And then I sat that down with the Legos. They were all next to each other. Then I woke up the next morning. There was hello written out, and then all the Legos were back where they were.
Interesting.
Kind of sounds like the Lego men were going to war, and they ride at dawn. War on Teagan.
Well, the funny thing is this room, when we moved in, this room always smelled like smoke. Always.
Yeah.
And still to this day, we've been here almost 10 years. And you'll walk in here and you can still sometimes get a whiff of smoke.
And this is the room that our producer seen the thing run into. Like
No,
the
he
little
didn't.
critter.
No, he didn't.
The
He
little
don't believe in
crit-
that stuff. It
the
ran out of this room into the other room.
The little critter.
It ran out of that room into
Oh,
here.
my bad. Wrong way.
I was right. See?
Were you inside the mirror when that happened?
Yeah.
He,
No, on the reverse side, that's what
Yeah.
it looked like.
I was in there because I didn't want to be out here anymore.
our producer, the lovely Jake, he's seen something run from another room upstairs into this room when they very first moved in, which ensued them ripping apart every room in the upstairs of the house to try to figure out which creature got in.
It was roughly the size of a cat.
A little bigger.
It was black. Go figure. And he swears he saw it run out the door along the wall and took off in here. We literally pulled everything out of this room and that room, and there was nothing. But he doesn't believe in it.
looked like a weasel, but it was bigger than a cat. And right across from this door is the bathroom. And I was standing in the doorway of the bathroom when I saw that happen. Everybody had just walked into different rooms. And I saw that, and I hollered for them because I thought someone was going to get chewed on.
Nope.
Apparently not. Apparently it was just a spirit animal thing.
Well, so it makes me wonder because he says he sees that thing downstairs. I wonder if that's the same thing.
I don't know.
In case you are wondering, our lovely producer, not on camera, is pointing to Caiden, which is sitting in the corner. He was our last episode of Paranormal Savage Stories.
Well, animals can be spirits too. I will say, I was standing in the bathroom the one day, this a couple of years ago. I don't remember what I was doing, cleaning or something, and I had turned around and I looked and I said, "Oh, hi, Tequila." And then it clicked. I was like, "Oh shit, Tequila's been dead for like 5 years. What the?" And I looked, she was gone. But she was clear as day, sitting right there between the tub and the toilet, wagging her tail, looking at me.
So back on topic. Have you had anything else happen?
So, not really in the room. There's minor things that I don't fully remember, so I'm not going to go into it. But after all of that, Mom was in a new ghost group, and they invited them all to come up here to do an investigation. This is before Caiden was in the room and all that. And they ended up catching whatever it was on the EVP.
It was an older lady.
Yeah,
That's
it
all
was
I
an
remember.
older lady. And she was having full conversation with them. And she asked, "Are you the one moving the Legos?" And clear as day, it came out with a yes.
She was just trying to make friends with him.
Yeah.
Probably an old grandma type lady who saw him as a grandkid.
Then, after all this, the room and the investigation is when, not bad, but weirder, crazier things started happening. Like with dreams and stuff. Okay, now I'll get into it. I thought I was
So-
leaving room for question.
So, based off what our previous guest, Caiden, said, I'm guessing this room constitutes people having odd dreams.
Probably, yeah, I would say that.
Like more, not so much as constitute, like influences.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've never slept in this room. Now, I've slept in Caiden's room downstairs. Like, when he's not here, I'll go stay with the cat. But I've never had any experience when I'm down there sleeping.
Oof.
But I never slept in this room.
Have you had experiences in this room?
Yeah.
This was the Lego.
Well, I mean, the Lego... Sorry, my hiccups. Besides the Legos, have you seen anything... Like, people...
Cut off, no more.
No, that's not the critter. That's Megan. It's not the mouse.
That's my hiccups. Have you... Have you seen, like, people, entities, creatures from this room? Oh my freaking god. Creatures from this room?
So, short answer, I'm just going to say not really. Like, I haven't seen it in person.
That's not a
in the
short
room.
answer.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, I haven't seen it in person, like, staring at it in the room. But I've seen, like, a dark figure in my dreams in the room here.
Have you experienced anything since you moved downstairs?
Yeah, when I moved downstairs, the dreams cut out, but that's when something else I'll get into later. That's when something else started happening.
All right, so back up and go back to your dream.
Okay, so the dreams, my thought on the dreams is after.
Can we hear the dreams first?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so, so I would. All right, so I would have dreams of like my most, like the best memories I have. For example, I don't remember. Was it like that pasta bread?
Oh my God, yes.
So you know that park
Yes.
with like the spinny tunnel.
Yes,
Yeah.
you walking up there singing your
I was
pasta bread
having
song.
dreams of that, and like the dream would be playing vividly, and then there would be like this dark figure standing in the corner. It's like watching and like staring. And then I would look around and like Dad would be missing. Like it was always a dream of a good memory, and then something like traumatic happening.
Okay.
So like I would have a dream, I went down the slide, and I look up, Dad's gone, nobody's at the park, I'm just there alone for myself, and then I wake up. The next dream I remember, it was when we were moving into this house.
Mm-hmm.
We were coming in, and the U-Haul just came in, dropped off the stuff, and you guys were bringing it in. And Grandma KK took me in the car, because you guys didn't want me here for all that. And I had a dream that we got in a car crash, going somewhere, when then the dark figure was the one driving the car that crashed. So there's that. So just a whole bunch of...
I would love to
Crazy.
elaborate on that, but I...
Yeah. So it's just a whole bunch of traumatic things happening. And it was like 6, 7, 8 years ago. That's not something that you would come to your mind out of nowhere, being that young.
No, but it could be. I mean, it doesn't have to be paranormal.
No,
it
yeah.
could be just the typical fears of a
Yeah.
kid, you know,
Yeah.
a good memory, and then, you know,
Yeah.
the black thing could be your subconscious, one of your fears.
Yeah.
Not saying it's not paranormal,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it could
yeah.
be explainable.
Yeah.
So, like Caiden, have you ever had any dreams about houses?
No.
I mean, like not like this house, but
Yeah.
like
No, I haven't had anything like that. Yeah, the only dreams that I have had with stuff going on like that are like vivid memories that I could play back second by second right now. Like my top memories.
So more
Favorite
like
things.
lucid type dreams.
Kinda, yeah.
Freaking hiccups.
So what happens downstairs?
Downstairs, so after I moved, I have been having like random out of body experiences and like feeling that
Astral projection.
and feeling that like I'm being
Not all.
constantly watched or something like that. So with the out of body and stuff, I could just be sitting there or sitting at my desk at school, and then out of nowhere I blink and it's crazy. I can like see the back of my hair. I can't see in front of me. It's like someone standing behind me and I'm looking through their point of view. Like I can see the back of my hair. The one time I was testing it out and I looked to the left and I saw myself look to the left.
That definitely sounds like astral projection. In some form. Or lucid dreaming, depending.
it sounds
Well,
like
if
the
he's
beginning.
awake.
If he's awake, it's
Yeah,
most likely
he's
astral
awake.
projecting.
And that
What's
started.
your hair smell like?
Yeah, that started after I moved downstairs, and that was what really got me thinking about like the paranormal and stuff. And that's when I really started getting into it with my mom and asking questions and trying to figure stuff out. And I've told her about it before.
I don't remember you telling me that
She
part.
just said to not think much of it. And
I don't remember you telling me that part.
The more you think about it, the more you give it attention, the worse it can get.
Oh, yeah.
Back to your comment of how you feel like you're watched in your room. Does it come from any specific point, or is it just an all over, like, it's looking at you from the ceiling?
it's there's 3 places mostly. One is behind, so I don't have a closet, but I have like a hanging rack that you hang clothes on, and I have one of those. It's like coming from behind that.
So just so you get a visualization, his room is a box, okay?
Yeah.
This is the door. This is the wall right here that's Caiden's room is on the other side. That's where the bed is. This is the window. This is the clothes rack.
Yeah.
And then his desk is right there.
Yeah. So it's like right behind the clothes rack right there.
Where nothing could potentially fit.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It's
Because
right
it's
up
right
against
up
the
against
wall.
the wall. And the other one is like right by the top ceiling above my desk right over there. That one's the most common. And then the other one's right where my dream catcher is.
Which is
So here's the window. It's right by the window right there.
Does the one above the desk scare you the most?
Yeah. That one it like unsettling, paranoia, keeps you awake. The one night I just sat there, I didn't even try to. I looked at it and I just got locked into looking at it for like 2 hours and I just could not sleep.
Did you see anything or
It
were you
was
just
so
looking?
I couldn't see a thing. It was like an orb. It was like a area that was darker than the rest. Like the room was dark,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like the street light coming in through the window, but it was just pitch black right in that corner.
So it was kind of like a black misty type thing, but not see through.
Yeah, it was more like a perfect circle right in that area.
Interesting.
So
Do you-
it sounds like you have a dream catcher problem like Caiden does.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You should probably consider cleansing said dream catcher.
Yeah.
Do you think your mom being a paranormal
Exterminator?
investigator
I will
has...
exterminate your ghosts.
Do you think her being so wrapped into the paranormal and us always being here, obviously, because we're always here as a team, plays any part in your experiences?
I do feel that with you and Mary being, well, Mary's the old psychic in the group.
No.
No? Who was it? What was your name then?
Not in our group.
No, your old group. Megan's
Yeah.
the one in this group.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. I do feel that when you guys were here, there's a different feeling in my room. Like the tone's off a bit. But other than that, not really. I feel like whenever they would do investigations in there, it would change the feeling after for a day or two. It felt... whenever I'd go in there, I'd feel stressed after an investigation or something. Like it was unsettling to be there.
And just for the record, I have never been in Teagan's room unless otherwise invited into
Yeah.
Teagan's room because I try not to go into the children's quarters unless invited so that I'm not stirring up any of the activity.
I've been
because
invited into Caiden's room. I've never been in Teagan's room.
I think I've been into Teagan's room one time, and that was for him to help me figure out something with
taking a video.
computer stuff.
Yeah.
From the original vibe that you got from her old group and now with us here, do you feel any different when I'm here?
Not really. I mean...
Does it change the vibe from when it's just Megan and your mom?
If it's just those two, it's a lot. Yeah, it's like I said, it's stressful. But when you're here, it's not as bad. It's like say with them here, it's a 9. It's like a 7 to 8 when it goes down slightly. Like it's a little more eased
So it's
off.
just us.
They don't
Maybe
like
I
me.
just need to take a trip in there.
Go for it.
They don't like me. It's okay. We know that. We know I'm the problem. I'm always the problem.
Not many like me, so.
I mean, because we go in and we're like, listen here,
Yeah,
buddy.
I don't play games, so they
You're
don't
not going to
know.
mess with our kids. And
No.
even though you are not technically birthed by me, you are my child. You're not going to, we're not going to do that. No.
Y'all all know.
You're like, okay, we're just going to feel it out and see how it feels.
Yeah. Every night when I go to bed, I give them all the lecture. That
Leave
they
the
need to leave
freaking
the
kids
children
alone, damn it. No. You're gonna mess with somebody, you're gonna mess with me because I can
That's why
stick
my
up for
shirt is
myself.
gonna my shirt is gonna say "Bring it,
Bring it, yeah. Bring it.
Y'all
Bleep
all,
word.
bring it, bleep."
Bring it, bleep.
y'all all know how what happens when I'm on investigations. So
Yeah,
It's a hit or a miss with you on investigations.
we
And
either
I
get a lot or nothing.
so appreciate the energy that you put off because it protects us a lot.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm like, bro.
why do you think I go off on my own?
We've got nothing, and we need you to bring it in just a little to let things communicate with us, but not so much that they can do the grabby, feely, touchy things because
All right, back to Teagan.
Okay.
yeah.
So, next up, I have... I lost my... Okay. So, where did I leave off with the...
We were talking about the
thing
watches in your room.
corners
Oh,
and-
yeah. So, the one... What I feel with the dream catcher, it's like a very comforting. That's, I think Mom was saying that was Uncle Wayne. Yeah, she said that he follows me around and stuff, and he's watching out for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel comforting, and it's hard to explain. It's like, I don't know, I would say like soothing.
You never got the chance to meet him, and he was a very comforting, soothing person. However, he was a hard ass.
Yeah.
And if you were doing something he didn't like, he was not afraid to tell you or smack you upside the head for it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's possible that some of that anxiety stuff is from him, because if you're doing something he don't approve of, he's going to tell you.
Yeah.
It's possible. Yes.
Yeah.
Have you experienced anything from when, like, you were little, or is it just all been since you guys moved to this house?
I was experienced little stuff in our apartment in Paynesville. Like, I would see stuff moving around, or someone, oh, yeah, there's something else I'm going to get into, I just remember for here, but, the apartment, I would see, like, something walking down the hallway. There was this one experience I had, it was me and Caiden, we were in a room. There were 2 beds, my bed and then Caiden's bed right there. And it was 10:30. Dad sent us to bed after watching the Muppets or something. When he would always play that that one Rainbow Connection song.
Oh, God.
He'd play that before we went to sleep every night. And
Where the hell was I?
I don't know.
Work
Probably ignoring
I didn't work then.
I don't know where you were.
in the basement.
Probably ignoring the Rainbow Connection song.
I didn't know this was a nightly thing. I would only
Not
once in a while.
Every couple nights. But yeah.
Okay.
He played that. We went to bed, and a couple hours later, Caiden gets up and he starts mumbling something random. Like it sounded like it was.
I remember this.
It was
now.
like some random language. It sounded.
He was speaking like it almost sounded like Latin.
Yeah.
I shit you not. I remember this now.
And then he went back to sleep, and then like a little after that, he just sat up, stared me dead in my eyes with like a blank stare, and just threw up everywhere.
You've got to remember that, because I was like, what the hell is he doing?
And it was like the scariest thing I remember
Sounds
from
like
that
you
apartment.
had it sounds like you had an exorcist moment.
Yeah. It was crazy. He just was sitting there, and he was just like looking back and forth, saying like whatever the heck he was saying. And then 5 minutes pass, he gets up and like eyes wide open, blank stare, just right at me, and then just pukes.
Well, okay, my kids are special. Okay.
Special.
They
Special. We love them dearly.
they are all special.
Special in our own ways.
They all
Special.
act
Oh,
really
my.
off when they start to get sick. Okay, I could always tell when Tressa was going to get sick, because she would start her night terrors.
Yeah.
Caiden would kind of get goofy too.
Yeah.
And Caiden is the silent instant puker. There is no warning. He could be sitting right there and all of a sudden,
That's
it.
Lily,
That's your warning.
That's how
So-
Lily was for a long time. She did not feel like she was gonna puke. She was just puking
Yeah.
for a while.
And
I'm
he
like,
d-
how do you not know that you're feeling that?
And he doesn't make a sound. It just comes out.
You don't know unless he says something.
And he's done it and then went right back to sleep, and nobody knows it because he
Yeah.
doesn't make a sound. All right, anyways, back to your story.
Yeah.
That reminded me of one from my childhood.
So yeah, that was pretty much it. There was that, and that's pretty much it. That all I can remember. The apartment, that was forever ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I remember from there, and I don't remember anything past like beyond that.
So now, since you've like lived in this house for a long time, well, you guys lived here for a while, right?
Mm-hmm. Almost 10 years.
Yeah, coming up on 10 years.
So you were still like 4, 3, 4.
6. He was in kindergarten. We came here halfway through kindergarten.
Yeah. I
So
finished
like,
the-
since you guys have moved in here, have you experienced some of the same things Caiden has? Like, well, obviously not
Yeah.
operations,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they're
yeah.
selective on who they. But have you like experienced any of like the more Native American type spirit things here? No.
No, yeah, I had one. It was, I think it was right before they came for Caiden's Indian girl to scope that out. I had this dream of like a war going on, like a tribal war or something, like fighting over land.
Interesting.
Given the history of Ohio and the area, it's a good possibility.
Yeah.
Not all that surprising, but go on.
Other than that, I really haven't experienced the same as him. I think that's just a him thing because he, like we were saying, he has that beam. He gets attracted to everything.
But you attract other things, like when you
Yeah.
go places, like
Yeah.
you've been to like the local seminary and
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
experienced various, maybe not various things there, but like I think everybody has experienced
Yeah.
something at the seminary, and I don't know.
Not me. I
like,
got nada when I was there.
I got a few stories from
I
there.
got nothing.
have you experienced things from places that we have taken you to?
Yeah. For me, pretty much everywhere I go, I feel something. Like for a day or so after.
So you have the beacon.
It's
Whether or not you think it's as bright as
Yeah.
other people's, you
And
still
you're
have the
also
beacon.
older.
yeah.
Generally,
Older-
little kids
Yeah.
are more open as you grow. It not always, but usually will
As
get
you-
smaller and smaller
Yeah.
and smaller unless you learn how to keep it.
Normally,
Unless you train yourself.
Yeah.
how it works is as if you started off as some kind of psychic ability as a kid, as you grow, it becomes less and less.
Yeah.
Only because society is telling you that those things aren't real. It's
Yeah.
not possible. They're not real. You're imagining it, and you're being like indoctrined, sort of,
Unless
into
you live in the crazy
not
house
believing.
where
Unless you live in a paranormal household that is telling you, like, oh no,
yeah.
that is exactly how this works, because it is what it is, you know.
So what was your other one that you remember?
All right. This is my final closing story.
Final closing story.
So ever since, like, long as I can remember, I've heard voices and like mumbling all throughout the house.
Oh, so you hear
So-
yourself?
Back to the story. Okay.
Back to the story, April.
Okay, so no matter where I am, I'll hear like a voice or something. So there's one night,
Oh yeah.
me and Dad, nowhere near each other. I came up. It was after, night of one of your guys' podcasts. You guys were all gone. It was probably 12:30, 1 o'clock. I come upstairs to get a drink, get some water, and I swear I hear from upstairs Dad yelling, "Teagan, go downstairs. What are you
No,
doing?" Or
said,
something like
Get
that.
back downstairs.
Yeah, get back downstairs. And I look up and doors closed, doors shut. I come up, knock on the door, ask him like, "What's going on? What's wrong?" And he's, "Nothing. What's wrong with you?" He didn't say anything. Later that night, he
It was
heard-
about the same time because I heard the commotion out here, and that's what made me hear his phone talking.
Yeah. He heard that, and the crazy part is earlier in the day, my dad's phone and my mom's phone, they were calling people on their own.
It was that evening.
Oh, that
It was
evening, yeah.
around the same time that you heard the voice. I was sleeping, I was dozing, and I woke up to his phone talking. And I couldn't process what it was saying because I was like 90% asleep. And then how did this go? Do you remember? When I was dozing that night, when your phone started talking, and then your mom said it called her, but you didn't call her, and then
that
she
was
called
weird.
you.
That was really weird, yeah.
What's weird is that is not like the first experience that our group has had with that. So we had one of our other clients, like our farmhouse, Perry farmhouse client.
That just happened again the other day.
It did. It just happened the other day. So I was on the phone with her, and like, it was weird. She was out in one of her outbuildings, and I heard a weird whisper, and I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Not thinking anything of it, thinking, like, it could be like her husband in the background, her kid in the background, something in the background. It didn't really, like, make a whole lot of sense. It didn't sound like anybody that I know from them, but, like, I don't really know her two older children too well, so I couldn't, like, pinpoint the voice. But then it happened again a few weeks later, and it just happened to our client and her daughter a few weeks ago.
Yeah. So I had...
Like, not even a week ago. Like,
no, it was like 3 days ago.
Yeah, like, not even a week ago.
Because I had talked to her, and
she was
calling
phone.
her daughter to deliver a message to her daughter from my daughter, and something started whispering on the phone again.
Yeah, but she said that her daughter said that it sounded like me. Or she said it sounded like me on the phone talking about one of your kids, which is really weird because I hadn't talked to her for like at least a few hours on the phone, and she's like, that's so weird. Like, it sounded exactly like you talking about April's kid on the phone, and it's just... It seems a lot of things happen on the farm with that kind of phenomenon, which is kind of weird.
It's energy. It's electricity.
But it mimicked...
It is a form of communication.
It mimicked me this time.
Well, it was a mimic. It mimicked us when we were there the last time.
It really, really mimicked me this time. Like, the last time we were there, we seen, like, shadow figures and, like, some voices here and there, but not a whole lot. Nothing that I would prescribe as, like, a mimic at our downtown, like, at our farmhouse investigation. At our downtown Perry investigation, we did have something that mimicked other people, and we're like...
That was
crazy.
crazy.
Do you remember if you heard that? Because I don't remember saying this, but it really sounds like me. But I'm on the recorder in another location at the same time, and I don't know what this is.
Back to one of the Caiden stories there that reminded me of my own.
Caiden, that's Teagan.
Or Teagan.
Close
That's
enough.
one of the kids.
One of them.
One of the kids.
My dad used to check on me and my sisters when we were growing up and come up, make sure we were in bed.
Yeah.
And he told us one night he was sitting downstairs and he was watching TV and he heard a man's voice coming from upstairs. So he goes up to check on us. I'm asleep. Walks in my sister's room. Doesn't see anything. And as he's about to walk out, my little sister sat dead straight up in bed, looked at him, and in a deep man's voice asked him, "What are you doing?"
Oh, wow.
And after that, he said he never checked on us again.
Oh, great. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
He said he ran downstairs, looked at my mom, and said, "I'm not checking on him anymore."
All right. Well, on that note,
For your dad to say that's saying something.
At this point, my little sister was maybe 6 to 8.
wow.
Ooh.
For your dad to say that is amazing, because when we were in the caboose and we were seeing, like, the door, like, literally move back and forth, and, like, the other door tried to open on us, and I screamed so loud
He had some liquid courage at that point.
it scared me so bad. I'm very impressed knowing that now, that he, like, didn't just nope out and run.
Yeah.
Okay, you walk into a dark room. Your youngest child sits bolt upright, looks at you in a deep man's voice, and goes, "What do you want?"
No.
No.
Oh, wow.
All right, guys. On that note, that's about it for today.
Like, subscribe, share, turn on notifications.
Send us your Savage stories anonymously, or send us your story and we will remote you in for a podcast with us. Check out our website. Our merch store is live. Get yourself some Savage gear.
Yes, some Savage merch. Don't forget, if you do not want to be part of our lovely podcast, like our kids are so eagerly awaiting to do, Message us either on Discord or Facebook.
We are more active on Discord.
Yes, we're vastly more active on Discord. But you can also message us on Facebook in case. Or you can message us at hello@savageenergi.com with your stories. If you wish to remain anonymous, we can accommodate that.
We will be more than happy to read your story or have it read for you by someone else.
Yep.
Preferably not me.
I could take that over.
Yeah.
Save me on, I'll be your narrator.
Okay. All right. That's it. Peace out.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
Bye.